Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the iRacing Superstock League Superspeedway Series, sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Tonight, we will be at virtual Talladega Superspeedway for 30 heart-pounding laps in the NASCAR Xfinity cars. I'm your announcer, Atlee Atman-Weiss, and joining me tonight to call the action is experienced iRacer and iRacing Oval Series champion, Dustin Dean. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, Atlee. I'm ready to see some crazy Xfinity racing here at Talladega.
Right, we got heat races, and it's just, we love heat races.
Well, I forgot to ask you, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing very well, exciting, like you, for some super speedway. I prefer, honestly, Talladega over Daytona, so I'm ready to see what it's going to bring.
Oh, yeah, you get a lot more three-wide action. You get a lot more stable cars, in my opinion, with the narrow walls of Daytona, the narrow lines that they have. Everything's so much tighter, and things are more tense. Here at Talladega, you can really open it up as you see some cars making some runs here in practice as well. I think we'll just see plenty of that as we get racing.
Now, tonight's race is sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Since 1997, Fort Worth Screen Printing has provided quality screen printing services to promotional products, distributors, marketing firms, advertising agencies, and users throughout the United States. Fort Worth Screen Printing is actually the official apparel supplier of two big NASCAR teams, Mike Harmon Racing and Rick Ware Racing. If you are in need of some quality screen printed t-shirts, please look them up on Facebook at Fort Worth Screen Printing, or you can find them online at fwscreen.com. Now, the race format for tonight is as follows: 45 max entries, and the race is full tonight. 5 is going to be advancing from qualifying 2 laps. Then we got 2 15-lap heats where 10 are going to advance from that. And then 25 will be starting the feature, which is 30 laps. So tonight's field is packed with some amazing drivers. Who do you have your eye on tonight, Dustin?
Well, I've got my own, obviously, the regulars, but I'm also seeing some new guys that we haven't seen here before. And I know everybody's wanting to win at Talladega, and everybody does have a chance. I get that, but at the same time, I'm keeping my eye on. You got Wyatt C. Martin. He's in the race. You got Raymond Retinier. He's in the race. Just a lot of names that we usually see up front. I don't think it'll be any different here tonight as we are winding down our practice session, and we'll start seeing some qualifying runs. I'm excited for that. They look like they're still going strong there in practice, though. Just learning, filling out the car. I will say, I ran Xfinity not too long ago, and I found that these cars are actually a whole lot harder to drive than the Cup cars, which is surprising, but they are harder to drive on this super speedway.
Interesting. So we'll see if that may play a role.
Yeah, they don't have quite as high of a spoiler, so
could affect some things. But we do have qualifying now, and here in the iSSL Superspeedway Series, qualifying has a big role for the fact that top 5 won't even have to deal with heat races and potentially getting eliminated from actually being in the feature.
Yeah, I think we found that is the most important thing. Just go ahead and skip the heat races, get them over with. It's kind of like a win, get you into the playoffs. A top 5 qualifying position will definitely get you into the race. You don't have to stress about crazy things happening during the heat races. So look for the top 5 to see who they are.
Now, the weather here in Talladega, Alabama, 65 degrees, 15% humidity, clear skies with 2 miles per hour winds, it's pretty much the perfect racing weather.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Those temps are not going to come into too much play here tonight, as it is a day race. So we won't see too many quick speeds like we saw last week at Daytona. But, it still should provide some good action nevertheless.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know Talladega does not have any lights, so they cannot run night races.
Oh, they can. They can definitely run some night races. it would be mass chaos. But yes, they.
Well, of course they can. It'd be like pitch black.
Well, now, the only fun or the only thing that would not be fun about that is we couldn't see it. It would be fun to watch if you could see it, but
Right,
like
I
you
did
said,
make
it is
that
pitch black.
I did make that mistake when I first started iRacing. I wanted to do a night race at a track, and when I went in, I couldn't see anything. It's because the track that I chose to race on didn't have any lights.
Yeah, I think we've all made that mistake a time or two. As we look on your screen here, I don't know what's going on with the 278. Doesn't seem to be up to full speed. Um, that's not what you want to do during qualifying. You want to get that thing dialed in and riled up, but looks like he's on a Sunday drive out there.
Could be potentially sandbagging it. I'm not sure, though. But Ismail Martinez. Oh, now Steven Miller in that 88. Oh, it's just, let's wait for it a little bit to just cycle out. See who really is the fastest, as so many people are getting on the board.
They're changing left and right here.
All right.
Quicker than I change underwear, that's for sure.
But right now, it's been a few seconds and it hasn't changed. Grayson Scott in that 48 currently have the pole position, 53.84, a hundredth off as Nicholas Rolstad in that 44 in second. See if anybody will have anything for Grayson Scott.
Doesn't look like it so far. Well, as I say that, Aaron Smith takes that top spot in the number 70 machine. He's got a 53.86. Well, I say 86. It's actually 806 thousandths of a second. But Colin Williams just took that over with a 53.786. Man, a whole... Well, it's only 400ths, but hey, he's in the 53.7s. That's pretty quick around here by yourself.
And we got Hunter Parsons with a 53.83. He's up there as well. Brandon Gagnon has a 53.83. Matthew Baker, 53.84. But still, drivers Paul Moraine gets a 53.80.
There it is. Garrett Maines, number one right there, 53.78.5. So we have our leader at 53.785, and then second place is, well, it just keeps on changing, folks. You can see it on your screen. It just keeps on changing. Raymond Retnier right now, 53.725, your pole winner right now, or pole sitter right now.
Dude Conrad is up there as well, 53.74. Travis Turnmeyer, it's ever changing. I do have something to say. In about 30 seconds, we are going to be doing the national anthem.
Yeah, and I have to shout out my beautiful wife will be the one performing this national anthem. Something she's always dreamed of, and now's her time to shine.
So here we go. To honor America, we will be playing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say
was a great national anthem there. It looks like as we look back towards qualifying, nothing has changed. Raymond Reddenor II, Dude Conrad are still in first and second, but John Garrett makes his way to third with a 53.76.
I would just like to point out that when it comes to singing, I taught my wife everything she knows about singing, so you're welcome, honey. And with that, I'll keep on going down that same list. Crystal King qualifying fourth here with a 53.76.3 and tying that. I'm talking about tying that, folks. 53.763 also is Travis Turnmeyer in that 54, and that is your top five. They will race in the feature tonight, 30 laps. They don't have to race in the heats. They can avoid all this chaos and probably crashes, let's be honest, and they can just watch and see exactly what they need to do to stay ahead of everybody else. That's the advantage of not having to race in these heat races.
But it kind of reminds me, in sports, we got people who have the job to go to scout. So that's what maybe some of these drivers are going to be doing during these heat races, maybe to scout out drivers who could potentially be good drafting partners or maybe people to avoid. I don't know, but
Yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, you can find out who's going to be a good pusher, who's going to maybe get loose a lot, and all these different things. You can find that out by watching their heat race, and so you know exactly who you want to pair up with when you can. And if you can't, you at least know who's not going to wreck you, and you can find that out in heat racing as well. And so for those top five, congratulations, you are in the feature tonight. You have a chance to win all this money.
now before we start calling the heat race action, I would like to say, make sure to share the broadcast. You can do it on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it does give exposure to the league, the sponsor, Fort Worth Screen Printing, the drivers, and it would be greatly appreciated. So make sure to share the broadcast. You'll probably see a button. Twitch, it'll be host. YouTube, you can share it, and then so you can do that on Facebook as well.
And I do already have a couple shout outs about my my habits of underwear changing. So that's interesting. But you can also share who you are pulling for tonight. Who's your driver? Who's maybe a family member, maybe a friend? Who are you pulling for tonight? Who do you want to see up front? And we're getting ready for some heat races here at Talladega.
So you got 20. Got first on the pole, we got Todd Mays. Starting second is the 1 of Garrett Maines. Third is the 36 of Colin Willems from Canada. Fourth is the 55 of Paul Moraine. Then rounding out that top five is going to be the 20 of Jason Botello. Sixth is the 29 of Heath Snyder. Then on the inside, we got Max McClure. Outside, we got the 03 of Jonathan Thompson. Ninth is the 000. You don't see triple digits every day. Hunter Parsons. 10th got the 4 of Tyler Payne. 11th is the 5 of Matthew Baker. Then 12th is Corey Deal. 13th is the 06 of Wyatt C. Martin. 14th is the 44 of Nicholas Rolstad. And then rounding out the top 15 is the 71 of John Ernst. 16th is the 51 of Pete Pellini. 17th is the 18th. 17th is Jason Hand. 18th is Derek Schilling. And then 19th and 20th are Andrew Hainsley. 4th and Ismail Martinez. That is your top 20 for this heat race. Again, Todd Mays, Garrett Maines on the front row.
Yeah, when Garrett first laid down his lap and he was on the pole there, I didn't think anybody was going to be able to catch him with a 53.785, but man, I got some quick laps down tonight. So 45 car field in total, 20 in this heat, 20 in the second heat. You've got 5 already locked in. You have the top 10 coming from each heat. So this race, there's 20 cars, only 10 will advance, and that's what's going to make this so intense. It's going to be just 10 cars, 15 laps. Who's going to get it done? Who's going to go home empty-handed here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway? You see the front runners right there. Number 9, Todd Mays, sitting on your pole for heat number 1. I'm sitting here trying to think of strategies. It's Talladega. There is no strategy, let's be honest.
Right. Some people want to be up in the front because they have control over what goes on pretty much. People want to be in the back because if there's a wreck up front, gives them time to avoid. The middle is no man's land. You do not want to be in the middle. That's a terrible place to be.
Well, if you think about a tornado, the eye of the storm is probably the calmest. Yeah, that's not true for pack racing. That's just not true. In fact, there's no really calm place. I've seen people wreck from the front. I've seen people wreck in the back. There's just no telling where wrecks are coming from. But hey, we could see a caution-free heat race here. Maybe, probably not. Okay, never mind. Either way, it's going to be a good one. You'll see that pace car head down to pit lane right now, and that means this race is in the hands of the flagman. Now, as they go through the tri-oval, it's a long tri-oval here, getting over to the start-finish line. But once they get there, they're going to be going green flag racing. And hold on to your horses here. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. You see it on your screen. Green flag
There we go.
is out. Go ahead, Allie.
Green flag is out here at Talladega Superspeedway. Getting out to an early nose is the one of Garrett Maines, and he moves down to the bottom and takes the lead just as they cross and enter into turn 1. That now puts the 55 of Paul Mulrain as the leader of the high side.
Yeah, that was a crazy jump by Garrett Maines on the high side. I don't know how he got that jump. He must have got a heck of a push from behind. But either way, he is your leader as they go down the backstretch. And everybody playing it pretty cool right now. You see some movers and shakers, but everybody keeping their car where it needs to be right now. They come off of turn 3 and 4, and Garrett Maines holding steady on that inside line, but that outside line's got some momentum coming right now.
Right, don't look now. The 20 of Justin Botello is getting a great push from that 55 Xbox Series X car of Paul Mulrain. We'll see if they can get some more momentum on lap number 2.
Just holding steady right there on that outside. A little shaking. You see it there on your screen. A little shaking. Garrett Maines continuing to lead there. You got Todd Mays right behind him. That inside line seems to be working right now. That 20 on the outside, he's wanting that lead. He could taste it. It's almost there. But does he have the help? Obviously, he's got the help, but is it the right kind of help? This is what we talked about earlier, Atlee, of who's a good pusher, okay? That outside line has the momentum. They should be able to get there. Is the 55 pushing them good enough, though? That's the question, and that's something that the people that qualified in the top 5 is definitely on their mind.
Right, they're probably watching this thinking, hey, the 55, if he can get the 20 of Justin Botello out into the lead, I'd say he's a pretty good pusher. And speaking of lead, there he goes. Justin Botello is your new leader here at Daytona. Gets past Garrett Maines.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Now, all focus shifts to that 55 on the outside. Paul Mulrain being pushed by the 03. Can they get there? That beautiful green car, it would look so pretty out front. And it's about to be there, I can tell you.
Right, if Jonathan Thompson can continue to push the way he has, then the 55 can get out to the lead.
Yeah, and you want to stay right up there on him. It's so easy to get behind him, and you get so much of a momentum that you actually beat into his bumper. That's not what you want to do. You kind of want to drag the brake just a little bit so that you're actually pushing him, not bumping him, but you want to push that guy ahead of you so it gives it a little bit more of an edge as they go down in the turn 2.
Now, Dustin, remember, you cannot bump draft in these Xfinity cars. If you do, then they get really, really squirrely.
It looks like they're getting squirrely without bump drafting there for a second. They
Whoa!
got 3.
And we're 3 wide for the lead. Garrett Maines. And we got some people moving to the middle. Paul Mulrain is all the way up there.
Oh.
3 wide is a very dangerous situation. But luckily, Talladega has a little bit more width on the track, so it makes it a little bit easier to do it.
Well, I was going to say, this is lap 4. What are we doing, guys? But only 15 laps. I guess you do have to get it done now, sooner than later.
Oh, and as you say that, contact is made, and the 55 of Paul Moraine gets into the wall, but he saves it, so we continue to stay green. He pulls in behind that 40 machine of Max McClure.
Yeah, he's got Max McClure right there. Tyler Payne in front of them in that 4 car. That is the next car they're trying to get to. As you see, Garrett Main's leading that low side, doing a pretty good job right now, keeping it out front.
Right, he made a very risky move, moving up, making it 3 wide. He made room for himself, but that helped them take the lead again at Talladega. Now the leader of the high side is the 51 of Pete Polini. There seems to be, oh, there comes another car, the 4 of Tyler Payne. But I was about to say, 3 cars really isn't enough to get it going. I said 4, I say it every time. 4 is the magic number if you want to get a good draft going.
Well, they got the magic number right now, 4 on the outside. You see the inside line is not tucked together as much as I would like them to be. That outside line, well, they're kind of squirrely too, but that momentum on that outside line, I think, is going to carry the 51 straight to the lead here as they go down into turn 3. At least get there. Maybe not take the lead just yet, but he'll get there, and he does. But it's not enough yet. I say give it another turn or another corner, he'll be there.
Here's Max McClure. He is trying to catch up to the rest of the pack. Let's see if he can suck up to the 55 of Paul Moraine's back bumper.
I like where Max is at on your screen right now. I think he's just back far enough to where he can avoid it if something were to happen. But he's there. If he needs to make a run, he can. I think he's exactly where he wants to be right there. You see he's kind of backing off of it a little bit. I don't think he's quite ready to make a hard charge for it just yet.
Right, if he was in a situation, I'd say turn left and pray if you want to avoid something.
We found that to be a great and useful tool here in iRacing. Turn left and pray, whether you're avoiding a wreck or just racing. Just turn left and pray.
Right, you can try to weave through it and thread the needle and try to pull a Lightning McQueen, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah, and as you see on the screen, I think Max is just comfortable right there, taking it easy. Max right now sitting in 11th place, so he's close enough to strike if he needs to, but far enough away to where I think he can slow down just in time to miss anything. So that's, like I said, that's good. I agree with his strategy.
Now on Tuesday night, Dustin, you proved that you are better than Max McClure. Is that right?
I prove that every time I get in or behind the wheel there, Atlas. I hope he's listening to the broadcast. But no, Max is a good racer. He's a smart racer is what he is. He's probably one of the cleanest drivers out there. And so, as you can see why, he knows how to avoid wrecks. The front, too, you would think that Highline had that momentum, but they have just stayed neck and neck this whole time we've been talking about Max.
Right, they're trying to get up there towards Garrett Main's, but I'm not sure if they have the juice to do so. And look, the gap between Max McClure, there's a big gap between him and then looks like that's the 44 of Nicholas Rolstad. But, ooh, that's a problem. Max McClure has some right rear damage, if you look at that. Could that affect him?
Yeah, it definitely can. It's not as bad here in the draft, but yeah, it can definitely affect things. I really think he's just taking it cautiously. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Taking it cautiously here, and you can see he's kind of backed away. He was right up behind him. That shouldn't affect it that much to where you can't even keep up with the draft. And so I think he really is just taking it cautiously. He's sitting in 11th again. Actually, he is, well, he went back to 11th on that lap, but he's where he wants to be, I think. Now, I don't think he has anything wrong or anything to prove, so he's comfortable right there. I think he can make a run on that last lap. But Garrett Maines, I'm really impressed about how he's staying out there on that inside line. Man, getting a good push from behind from the 20, I do know that.
Right, a leader's success at a super speedway, a lot of it has to do with the pusher, and Justin Botello is doing a very good job doing that.
Oh yeah, I mean they got 5 cars out there right now on the outside line, and they're still not being able to do anything. That tells you how much of a pusher Justin Botello is, or maybe that's just how good Garrett Maines is. I mean, the 51's finally giving him a run for his money, but just not able to get out front and clear him just yet.
Ooh. Oh, the zero makes contact with the 79,
Wow.
71.
Yeah, 44 is upside down. Crazy stuff going on. Let's look at that wreckage replay. Man, and here's what I want to know as we look at this wreckage replay. I want to see what Max did. Did he get through it by being cautious there, or was he a part of it? We'll take a look at that along with everything that happened, how that got started, as you see the wreckage replay on your screen, showing Pete Polini as your leader right now. Here it is. Let's take a look at it.
All right, so pay attention to the zero. Remember, it's hard to bump draft at these super speedways, and one wrong move like that can result in a wreck. The 0 and the 71 make contact. That turns the 41 around. Watch that 40 of Max McClure. He makes a little bit of contact with that 71, but besides that, not too much.
Notice what he did. He turned left and he prayed.
What you got to do at these super speedways.
44 of Nicholas Rolstad, though, took a roll there. And hopefully he's okay. It looks like he's able to roll off.
Man, the 36 of Colin Willems has his front end destroyed. His Xfinity car is looking more like a modified, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. And I can tell you, that modified's not going to handle well on this super speedway.
So we're going to see some drivers heading down onto pit road when it opens to get some damage fixed.
Like I said, I actually said Pete Polini had the lead. It showed that, but right now Garrett Maines is showing as your leader. Justin Botello in second, Pete Polini in third, Hunter Parsons in fourth, Todd Mays in fifth, like you said. And we've got all kind of cars coming down pit road to make some damage adjustments, damage repairs. And we got one car back here. I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, there you see your leader, Garrett Maines. He's feeling pretty comfortable right now, I bet.
So the drivers that went in include Paul Mulrain, Max McClure, Jonathan Thompson, Colin Willems, Corey Deal, John Ernst, and Derek Schilling. Those are all, again, the drivers that went onto pit road to get repairs or tires or fuel or anything like that. And looks like we might be having a green-white checkered for this heat race.
That's just what I was about to say. Yeah, we're on lap 13 of 15 right now, and we will not get this race restarted in time. So we will go into overtime during this first heat.
Right, green-white checkers are very, very exciting. If you've watched NASCAR, you know that when it becomes a green-white checkered, it gets crazy. But right now, especially, the stakes are very high. Only the top 10 in this race are going to be advancing into the feature. Right now in that 10th spot is Andrew Hansley. The 4th. 11th is Jason Hand. He's so close to that final spot, but he's not quite there. He's going to need to make some moves to try to advance onto the feature. And so, other drivers that will also have to do that: Heath Snyder, Paul Moraine, Jonathan Thompson, Corey Deal, Colin Willems, Max McClure, Hunter Parsons, John Ernst. A lot of the drivers that went onto pit road are going to have to work their way back into the top 10.
Yeah, and it's a scary thing. You only have 2 laps to get it done. The question is, what are they going to do to get it done? What kind of moves are we going to see to try to make this happen? And are we going to see another green-white checkered? I don't even know if we have more than one, but could we see it on a heat race? I don't know.
Right. Green-white checkers are very uncommon for heat races, so it's pretty rare to see one. And the only reason we might not have had it if it would have been an earlier caution, but since this was a late race caution, as I think we were nearing close to 5 to go when the caution flag waved. I'm not going to say that word again. But when it waved, it was... So now we're going to have to do a green light checker. And I believe this time by, the lights on the pace car will go off. As we're doing a quick flyby of the field. See where your favorite driver's at.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of that made me think, hey, we're going to have a green, white, checkered, is I know some of the cars that were in the top 10, yes, they had damage, but they came down pit road. If we were not going to have a green, white, checkered, I imagine some of them would have stayed out there if they were in the top 10. But we are going to have a green, white, checkered. If we have another caution before the white flag, I assume that we'll line them up and do it again. Maybe not. We'll have to get word on that for you.
Now, before we go green, I do want to mention the payouts for tonight's race. First place will be getting $300. Second place will be getting $180. This is for the feature, by the way. Third place will get $135. Fourth, $115. Fifth, $100. And also, with the potential of $370, whichever driver has the lowest instant count will be getting $70. So that's so much to get, and it really is not worth it to just get eliminated early on in the heat race.
No, definitely not, especially if you're like an 11th and 12th. I feel like somebody's going to pull a Ryan Neiman here and take out somebody if they have to, just to get in there. And if you're liking what you're seeing, if you want to be a part of it, this series is going to continue for 10 more weeks after this. $300 payout to the winner every single week, top 5 paid. And again, that cleanest driver bonus for $70. Come on out, join us. You can look up Intensity Broadcasting, as we'll be broadcasting every week. But also look up iSSL Superstock Racing League, and that'll get you hooked up if you want to be a part of this and race. But for now, let's go back to racing. That pace car will duck on off, and Atlee's going to lead you to that green flag yet again.
All right, so remember, start-finish line is at the end of the tri-oval, which can result in some very exciting finishes. Let's watch from the perspective of the 35 trolley machine of Jason Hand. He's in 11th, and green flag is back out here. Let's watch that 11th position to see exactly. We're not paying attention to the front. We're looking at, and we're 3 wide for 10th.
And I can only imagine it's going to get more intense. Right now, there's single file kind of everywhere. Yes, there's some double file back there, but that, as the momentum kicks up, that's going to change very, very quickly. That top 8 there breaking away from everybody, though.
Looks like
3 wide. Whoa.
That's scary right there. The 03 of Jonathan Thompson is trying to use that low side to make the pass on the 35. And the 29 goes around.
Yep.
And the second caution flag will come out. Let's take a look at that wreckage replay.
Yeah, we will have a green, white checker there. I saw that, and I was like, there is no way they're making that. And just not giving enough room to each other, which I don't blame them. I mean, they're trying to get in that transfer spot. So I don't blame them, but I knew that wasn't going to work. We will have another green, white checker. Like I said, we'll line them up, and we'll do it again. But for now, let's take a look at what happened here.
So here we go. So watch that 35. The 03 is trying to make a pass on the 35.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the car up top there, I can't see the number. I'm not sure why he didn't move up and give them more room there. Maybe he didn't know that they were 3 wide. That's the only thing I can think of, because he comes down way low here, and that's eventually what got him in trouble.
Right, contact between the 29 and the 35. It gets the Jonathan Thompson. Then looks like, who's this? Like the 27, he's involved. The the 0 of Hunter Parsons, he's into the wall.
Not good.
There goes Max McClure right by.
Turn left and pray. That's what he keeps doing. He keeps making it through. Oh, boy. Max McClure is now, well, he's in 19th, so not looking too great for him, but at the same time, still has a chance.
And when the caution flag waved, Garrett Maines was in the lead. We got some drivers heading on to pit road right now. Derek Schilling, Hunter Parsons, Heath Snyder. And looks like one more. That's Jason Hand. All are going onto pit lane to get some damage repaired.
Yeah, right now, according to iRacing, your top 5 is the number 1 of Garrett Maines. Second is Pete Pellini in that 51. Justin Patello in the 20. Sitting in 3rd, Todd Mays in the 9 car, sitting in 4th. And Tyler Payne in 5th in that number 4 machine. Top 5, I'm feeling kind of comfortable. I mean, you're in the top 5. Top 10 transfers should be comfortable, right? As long as they don't start getting crazy and going 3 wide here, I think they'll be okay. You got Nicholas Rolstad in 6th, Wyatt Martin in 7th, Matthew Baker in 8th, Ismael Martinez in 9th, and Jonathan Thompson in that transfer position in the 10th place. And I just want to mention Corey Deal in 11th right now. He's got to be saying, come on, guys. We got to keep it green. I want a chance at this. Come on, guys.
Right. I bet everybody under the 10th spot right now is sweating beads right now, trying to get into the feature to have a chance at $300.
Listen, times is tough. $25 may not be a lot to you, but it's a lot to me. $25 is probably the reason I haven't joined this. $25 is a lot of risk, and I'm not too much of a risking man, but if I'm sitting in 11th to 20th right now and I put up $25, I'm doing whatever I can to get up to that 10th position, to at least tell my wife, baby, I made it. I had a chance. That's all you can do.
Right, and that's what everybody is hoping for right now. They want at least a chance at that $300.
So you're telling me there's a chance. Atlee, do you even know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Is it a reference to some?
It is a reference, Atlee. So you're telling me there's a chance. No, okay, never mind. Somebody on Facebook, tell me what that reference is from. So you're telling me there's a chance.
All right, that's the challenge. Before green, we gotta get people.
The first person to tell me on Facebook what that is from, and I'll give you a hint here. It's from a movie, Atlee. So you're telling me there's a chance.
I was whispered in my ear what it was.
Matt Knights is our first guy to throw it up here. It's from the movie Dumb and Dumber from back in the day. Jim Carrey, Jeff Dunham. He's the ventriloquist. Jeff Daniels is who I'm thinking of. Dumb and Dumber, we've got a couple people saying it now. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yes, even if you're in 19th right now, there is a chance. Anything can happen here at Talladega.
And Matt Knights, congratulations. You were the first to guess it. And you get a round of applause.
You get fame and glory. I'm sorry, we don't have t-shirts to give out, but we send you love, Matt.
Congratulations. But the lights on the pace car have gone off, so we will be going back green. This time by Garrett Maines on the outside, the 51 of Pete Pellini. Again, we're going to be watching that 11th place driver to see what all is going to happen there. How aggressive are these drivers going to be to get into the feature? So that's Paul Mullerain. He's in 11th. He's got Ismael Martinez in front of him, Corey Deal behind him. We'll see what happens.
Whew. Everybody just take a breath real quick, including myself. I'm getting a little bit of an asthmatic attack, and I'm not even asthmatic, okay? But it's happening right now. This is about to get super intense. If you're in 11th through 19th right now, as Derek Schilling is now 1 lap down, I don't think he's going to have a chance here. But everybody else still has a chance, and they're going to be doing all they can trying to make it.
You never know, there could be another caution. Derek Schilling could get his lap back.
Well, that's true. So you're telling me there is a chance. Okay. That pace car, you see him, he's running that low line on the apron. That gives way to Garrett Maines taking the outside line here on this restart. I bet him and Pellini maybe have something conjured up here. Watch for Garrett to take that lead, and he's going to shoot right down in front of Pellini. That's my guess anyways.
Right, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. It's going to be on the leader. So, there we go. Green flag is back out. And Garrett Maines is going to clear him. As I say that, here comes the 55 of Paul Mulrain going onto the outside of that 03 of Jonathan Thompson. Here comes the 36 of Willems squeaking in.
You got Todd Mays on the outside leading the charge, trying to get to the front, and they're almost 3 wide there in the front. The 20 of Justin Patello, he takes that outside line. He's wanting the lead now.
There's the 10 of Ismael Martinez. He's got the 06 of Wyatt C. Martin outside of him. There's Max McClure. Oh, and the 55. Max McClure makes there. Whoa, and we got a big wreck. And the third caution has come out.
Yeah.
Take a look at that wreckage replay.
55, Paul Moraine was trying to make it happen 3 wide on the outside, and it just doesn't look like it was working too well. We saw a lot of drivers caught up in that. We'll get you caught up on this wreckage replay, and you'll know exactly if your driver's in or if they're out right now. My goodness, what a nasty crash. I know most of them get one fast repair, and so if you've already used it, you're done here. Let's take a look at what happened. Watch that 55, that bright green car on your screen.
So Paul Mulrain, looks like maybe 5 might have let off or something. He almost made contact, and then the 55 makes contact with that 00, goes right into the wall. That collects Max McClure. Then the 5 gets involved. Wyatt C. Martin. Let's take a look at that again. Here we go. So Mulrain makes contact again with Rolstad, then makes contact with Baker, and that just starts to change. That's the big one of this heat race.
And that was right there around that transfer spot. So when I say it's anybody's game, was one car goes flying through the air there.
That's why it's C. Martin. He's going on a wild ride.
Oh, a car goes under him. What a wild ride that was.
We'll see that every day.
But yeah, that was right in that transfer spot. So things have definitely mixed up right around the 8th through the 13th position. Cars that were right there at it are no longer there.
Let's look at that.
Look from the in car. Yeah, go ahead.
Woo! This is exactly what Wyatt C. Martin was seeing in his rig. Man, that was scary.
And there's your leader, Garrett Maines. That's what he's looking at right now. Nothing but the pace car out in front of him. He hopes to keep it that way. And if you're in heat number 2, what are you thinking at this point? I'm thinking that their strategy is maybe we should run at the back and avoid everything. Let's take a look at that temperature, what it is now.
It's still 65, still 15% humidity, still clear, and still 2 miles per hour, which is, for me, I mean, that's the ideal racing conditions. I'm a racer myself, and if I have a race that's 65 degrees, 15% humidity, clear, and 2 miles per hour, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're not racing against the weather, and you're only racing against the track and the drivers.
Yeah, that's right. And these are fixed setups, speaking of racing the drivers, so every car is exactly alike, give or take the front nose, because of the Ford, Chevy, or Toyota. But other than that, they're exactly the same. They're set up the same. And so you really are racing the track, racing the drivers here tonight.
The only thing that you can change with this fixed setup is the steering ratio.
That's correct.
And that's how much your car on the sim turns per how much you turn the wheel.
Yeah, that's right. The more input you give, so how do I explain this, Atlee, better? The more input you give, you can have it to where it's set up almost exactly the same, meaning if you turn it a certain degree, it'll turn exactly that, or you can lessen that up to where if you turn it more, it'll only turn a little bit more than what you're turning, or less, depending on what you change your steering ratio to. And so that is an option, like you said. Here at Talladega, I know a lot of drivers like to have that less steering in there, so it's a little bit less aggressive.
Right, also there's brake bias and steering sensitivity. You can also change that.
Well, I don't think many drivers are changing brake bias here, but that is true.
Because you can, sometimes you do use brakes. One, if you're trying to avoid a caution, that's very important.
That's right, you're right.
And also, maybe if you're getting a big run on somebody and you don't want to run into the back of their car, so you might teensy tap on the brake a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a brake dragger myself. Yes, I just made that up, folks. I'm a brake dragger, and I like to drag the brake. Some people like to let off. I find that breaks the momentum just a little bit more than I would like, so I drag the brake a little bit, and that helps slow me down so I'm not beating on that back bumper. I'm just pushing it like I want to.
The lights on the pace car have gone off, so we are going to be restarting. Garrett Maines on the inside, Pete Pelini on the outside.
And I know both of these cars right here, the 51 and the 1, have seen this front a lot today in this heat. And I imagine Justin Vitello is not happy sitting back there on the second row. Probably neither is Todd Mays there in the 9 car. They're probably both wanting to get to that front, or maybe they are content staying back there. But if I'm Justin Vitello, I want the bragging rights of winning this heat, so I'm going to be gunning for that lead.
Of course, if they do try to do that, accidents can happen and they might not even make it into the feature at all. So, got to keep that in mind. They might be content and just stay clean and make it to the feature.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All I know is in the transfer position right now is Hunter Parsons. He is in that transfer position. If the race were to end right now, he would be in. But right behind him, Jason Hand. You got Max McClure sitting in 12th. Matthew Baker, John Ernst, all these names are trying to get back in there. That pace car is ducking on off on the pit road. That's my favorite thing to say if you can't figure that out. But that pace car is ducking on off. So we'll get the green flag racing here. This is our last attempt at a green-white checkered. Third and final. If the caution comes out, it's the end of the race, folks.
That is true. So, we are back green here at Talladega Superspeedway, and here goes Max McClure, gets up behind the 0, and we're 3 wide between the 44-0 and 13, back 2 wide looks like. Max McClure.
It's like, oh boy, that got tight right there. I didn't think that they were going to make it there for a second. Max McClure has help from the 71 right behind him to make his way.
Oh,
get that
and there's contact.
Oh, the 71.
So they're just going to continue to race.
No caution yet.
That now puts Wyatt C. Martin in 11th. He goes outside of the 44, and he now makes it into 10th.
Now, put this in perspective. Wyatt C. Martin restarted 17th, and now he's in that transfer position. So that's how quickly things can change. As you see some crazy action going back here between the 44 and the 71. White flag.
And so it looks like Wyatt C. Martin is going to take that final spot as we finish heat race number 1. Pete Pelini is your heat race winner.
That is correct. Wyatt C. Martin will take that spot. Andrew Hansley in 9th. Nicholas Rolstad in 8th. Hunter Parsons in 7th. As we take a look back now at this craziness that was the last lap, as he's getting that ready, in the 9 car was Todd Mays in that 6th position.
And we're gridding for the next heat.
We're going to grid it up here.
Grid it up. Let's get it. We got Christian Sanford. He's going to be starting on the pole in this heat race. The other Martin, Dalton J. Martin, starting 2nd. From up north in Canada, Curtis Critchley starting 3rd. Aaron Smith, the 2nd, starting 4th. And then J.R. Deal rounding out your top 5. Kyle Mays is in 6th. Jay Jensen 7th. Matthew Teeley in 8th. Brandon Gagnon is going to be in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is the 76 of Ron Morris Jr. Then 11th is the 48 of Grayson Scott. 12th is the 15 of Austin Trombley. Then 13th is the Jason Nethery. 14th is Jeffrey Wallace. 15th is going to be Andrew Navarro. Rounding out your top 16 is the 39 of William Ganem. 17th is Stephen Miller. 18th is Mike Martino, the third. 19th is James Batzer. And 20th is Bruce Spragg.
Yeah, and they rolled off quick here off the grid. We continue to roll through the field, so you can take a look at your favorite driver as the front of the field gets ready to go to the backstretch, and they will take the green flag this time. One lap around is all they get to prepare themselves mentally for what is about to be, I hope, a less crash-filled heat race. Hope we can see some good racing here, good clean racing. Got the 28 there leading this field as we make it almost all the way through the field here, as we see the 05 there in the Coors Light machine. There's your pole sitter there for heat number 2.
I do remember when Jimmy Johnson ran that red Lowe's paint scheme. If anybody in the comments can tell me what year that was, Jimmy Johnson's red Lowe's paint scheme, that is a very good paint scheme.
So are you asking because you don't know, or are you asking to get
I don't
an
know.
answer from somebody?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm asking because I don't know.
I think I know, but I want somebody to confirm on Facebook.
And then outside,
No.
we got Dalton J. Martin. He's always a great super speedway racer, and I believe pretty much every single time he gets, it's been very, he's been getting the lowest incident count $70 pretty regularly.
Yeah, I know last time he finished like 13th, but still got the cleanest driver just because he missed everything. And everybody else was banging off each other. Speaking of banging, that pace car is going to bang on the pit road. There's something new. And looks like the 28 Christian Sanford will lead this field to the green flag. And it's on the flag.
Here we go. Waiting. Green flag is out here at Talladega Superspeedway, and we're side by side, but as we cross the start-finish line, the 10 of Dalton J. Martin has a nose. And he still has it as we enter turn 2, but then here comes on the bottom the 28 of Christian Sanford, and they're side by side as we enter the back straightaway, but Christian Sanford has a little bit of a nose. No, we're pretty much equal.
Yeah, down the back stretch, it looks like they are in a drag race right now, trying to get to the turn 3 the quickest. Dalton J. Martin does make it there the quickest, but inside line of Christian Sanford, I think it's going to take over here. Kind of does in the middle of the corner. There he goes, a little bit more ahead. And yeah, it looks like that outside line is losing a little bit of its momentum. Just as I say that, they start to pick it back up though. And Dalton J. Martin trying to make it to the line first. No, Christian Sanford will lead lap number 1.
It's going to be up to that 27 and 06 to decide who's going to prevail, the bottom or the top. So those second cars in the line, watch out for them. If you see them start to get a big push, you'd expect that driver to get out to a big lead up front.
Yeah, what I'm impressed with is just how neck and neck these two at the front are. And they're not giving anything right now. That inside line should prevail more than that. Well, as I say that, there they go on the inside in the turn, but on the outside, they start to come back. I thought the 28 was going to dive up to there in front of Dalton, but he didn't. He chose to stay down low, and that gives Dalton the clear momentum on the outside. Christian, oh boy, that was close. It does look like Dalton led that lap, man, by 6/1000ths of a second.
But then Christian Sanford is going to re-get that nose and clear Dalton J. Martin as we enter the back straightaway.
That's some really good racing up here.
Really good and aggressive, but clean racing. So far, we have not had a wreck yet.
That's what I'm impressed with, the cleanliness of it. Nobody's really taken too much yet. It is only lap 3 of 15, but nobody's really too aggressive yet. Whoa, back in the pack there was some craziness going on, but up front they got it clean.
Right, they've stayed side by side for so long, but have not wrecked yet. But looks like we are oh, there we go, we get another person. I thought that we might be losing drivers on the high side, but no, there's still a bunch of drivers up there. But then the 28 of Christian Sanford is going to clear Dalton J. Martin.
Yeah, it looks like the inside line, which is kind of opposite of what we saw last week at Daytona. The outside line is not being able to really have that momentum that we've seen so many times here at Super Speedways, and it may be the Xfinity cars. I talked earlier about how different they were than Cup. Usually Cup has that outside momentum, and it just takes to the lead quickly, but these cars are a little bit different. They handle differently, they drive differently, and you can see the air affects them differently, as that outside line's not really pushing as strong as I thought they would be. Now, don't get me wrong, they're keeping pace with them. They're staying out there, but they're not really getting the pull ahead like I'm used to seeing on a super speedway.
Right, Xfinity cars are a whole different ballgame.
Made a little bit of contact. Sorry about that. The 27 of Curtis Critchley made a little bit of contact with Christian Sanford, got him down below the apron a little bit.
3 wide between the 02, the 2, and the 04. That's a dangerous situation. There's also the 34s also up there.
Yeah, it looks like the 02 might have got pushed out there. Jay Jensen on the outside line, and he's going to fall more and more to the back as we follow him. He's going to try to get in line there at the bottom of your screen, and he does. He does. Hey, I didn't know if he would let him in or not, but he did. Back up front, Christian Sanford got a big push from the 27 that time. That's going to put him 2 car lengths in front of Dalton J. Martin. See what kind of momentum they get here on the backstretch. Are they going to try to go up and block them? I don't see it. I feel like from the... Whoa, we got caution in the back. Car up in the air, flipping. Caution is out. Man, I just saw it out of the corner of my eye on my screen. And, man, that was pretty nasty there. Let's go back and take a look at that right now. Christian Sanford was your leader at the time of caution. He will lead this field back to green when we do go green. Dalton J. Martin in second. But for right now, let's go back and take a look at this crazy accident.
All right, so we're watching from the perspective of Jay Jensen, who had just fallen in line when he made some contact with that 2 car of Kyle Mays, but a little bit more contact. Then the 86 gets into the back of him. He moves down, makes contact with, I believe that was the 15 of Austin Trombley, and then that collects the 34, 88, and the 02 goes on a wild ride.
He got launched into the air there. Yeah, I just seen out of the corner of my eye a car going up into the air, and I thought, wait a minute, cars are not supposed to be flying in the air like that. Something's wrong here. And no doubt, that is the same car that we just, like you said, Atlee, just talked about, got hung out to dry out there on the outside line, finally got back in line, and then that's how things happen when you get back there. That's why so many people, they want to stay at the front, they want to stay in control, because things are just chaotic back in the back.
Got some drivers going onto pit road. Of course, they probably had some damage from that previous wreck, but also you mentioned earlier when the caution flag did come out, the 28 of Christian Sanford was the leader.
Yeah, at first it showed Dalton J. Martin in second. Right now it's showing Curtis Critchley in second. You can see on your screen there he is in second. Dalton is right beside him. Now, typically in NASCAR, or at your local short track too, if you're side by side with somebody on the pace laps, that means you're contesting that they have your position or you're not lined up correctly. Here tonight, that is not the case. They're just out there wheeling and dealing here on a good Friday night. So nothing's being contested, if that's what you're used to seeing. But what you're also used to seeing is a Lowe's car out front and you have that here tonight. That is a beautiful car. I'm sitting here looking at it as you're going through the field, Atlee. That is just a beautiful car. If you haven't seen the 88, the 20, what is it, 48 of Alex Bowman, they just released his 48 Ally
Love it.
paint scheme. Man, it is awesome. Yeah, I really like how they took away the yellow 48 and they made it, I don't know, more dark, I guess you would say.
It's my two
But
favorite colors, pink and purple, and there's a little bit of blue. I love it.
yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. I like it a whole lot better than Jimmy Johnson's car. So, anyways, I really like Bubba Wallace's car. That looks good. That's a good looking scheme. I haven't really seen a whole lot of schemes. A lot are kind of similar to what they have been in the past couple of years. Not really much interest in paint schemes as there used to be, but nevertheless, some good looking ones out there.
Well, they just announced that for 4 races, my favorite driver, Martin Truex Jr., is going to be running in the Reese's Fine Foods car.
Oh, now that used to be a good paint scheme back when they were on the 20 car in Xfinity. I loved that paint scheme. But they've been on several cars. And they always do really good schemes.
And there's been some other that released. There's a cool purple one, the 51 Rick Ware racing car of, it's like Nurtec. And by the way, I did mention
There it is.
earlier that the sponsor of tonight's race, Fort Worth Screen Printing, is actually the official apparel supplier of both Mike Harmon Racing and Rick Ware Racing.
So basically what Atlee's saying here is if you want the real deal, real gear, go to Fort Worth Screen Printing. They can get it done. If it's good enough for a NASCAR team, I can promise you they're good enough for whatever you've got in mind, whether it's company needs, personal needs, or maybe you're just having a get-together or an event that you need. What am I talking about? We're in the middle of a pandemic. If you need anything, they can get it done for you. Maybe you want a pandemic T-shirt. I don't know. They can get it done for you either way.
Right, they have actually, if you look at some of the 51 Rick Ware Racing paint schemes, you can see the Fort Worth Screen Printing logo on the NASCAR vehicle, which is crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And what else is crazy is we're about to restart this race here. And we're going to have 6 laps to go on the restart, which is not a lot of time. I mean, anything could happen here in 30 seconds that you just saw. I say 30, more like 3. Anything can happen here in a split second. So you're telling me Jeffrey Wallace, who was involved in this crash in 20th, still has a chance? Yes. As we just saw in Heat 1, Dalton J. Martin, he restarted 17th, folks, on that last restart. He made it in. So anywhere is still eligible here. Even Jay Jensen, who was flying up in the air, he still got a chance. So don't count anybody out. Your driver's still in this. I can promise you that. Let's take a look at your top 5 again. Christian Sanford in that first position. Curtis Critchley in second. Dalton J. Martin starting on row 2 in third. Matthew T. Lee in the 04 be in fourth. And Aaron Smith in the 70 car. He will round out your top 5 here as we get ready for the restart.
Yep, we're going to be waiting for that pace car to, let's see what's coming up with it, to boogie on down onto pit road.
Boogie on down, I like that.
And there we go. Boogie's on down onto pit road. So we're going to be waiting for the leader to start this restart. I think maybe at about the end of the grass infield, we'll see them start to rev their motors.
And as far as I know, it is on the leader here. He can go when he wants to. But typically at super speedways, you don't want to get that big run that you do at other places.
And green flag is back out here at Talladega Superspeedway. And looks like we are side by side as we enter turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, but the 27 had no help up there. He finally gets there in the 04. Matthew Lee is there to help Curtis, but he was stuck out by himself there for a second. You see the 28 and the 10 get that really good run as they're hooked up. Dalton J. Martin hooks it to the outside. He's wanting that top spot from Christian Sanford, and he's got help to get there. Will they make it? That's the question. He's got a good run from Curtis right now, but he just won't make it. Curtis, whoa. Whoa, I thought Curtis was getting sent to the wall there as Dalton J. Martin does make it to the inside line. He is your new leader coming off of turn 4 now.
Right now in 11th place is Ron Morris Jr., and he's about to get overtaken by Jay Jensen. But all of that aside, they're trying to get up into the top 10 so they can advance into the feature. Andrew Navarro currently is in 10th. They want to get that 10th position for a chance for $300, and they already paid $25 to enter into the race.
Yeah, I mentioned Jay Jensen. He restarted 19th, folks, and he's already in 11th right there following him on your screen, trying to get up into that top 10. And he takes it to the high side. He's trying to make something happen here. He's got to. We're only down to 5 laps to go. Well, really 4.5, as we are on lap 11 of 15. And so, I mean, he's right where he needs to be. He can make it happen if he wants to right here.
Right. He can make the moves that he wants to. And, oh, we're 3 wide right now.
Yeah, one getting hung out to dry there. That's going to get him, Jay Jensen, that transfer position.
Right, he currently is in 10th at the moment. Of course, we got the 76 of Ron Morris Jr. behind them. Ooh, a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be bad there for a second, but they fixed it out all right.
There we go. 15 goes back by Ron Morris Jr. I wonder what he's got. He might have a few tricks up his sleeves. Oh, and the 0-2 goes around.
Jay Jensen, again. Oh, he gets tagged there. More happening there.
And caution is out. We'll take a look at that replay.
Yeah, right now currently showing Ron Morris Jr. is in that 10th position. So he will be in that transfer position when we go back green here. We will have our second green-white checker, or our second heat with a green-white checkered, as we got that replay ready for you right about now.
Let's look at this replay from the perspective of James Batzer. As you can see, there we go. The 0-2 starts to spin around. I want to change that perspective a little bit.
Just gets tagged in the corner, and that's what sent him around. We talked about it before in heat number 1. They should have learned you can't do that here in the corner as much as you want to. You just can't do it.
Yep, there we go. Contact between the 15 and the 0-2, then gets into the 76 of Ron Morris. Wallace does end up, makes a little bit of contact. Some drivers turning left and praying. They end up avoiding it.
That's right.
James Batzer does it, but that also proves that it sometimes can go wrong if you turn left and pray. James Batzer did that, and he still got contact from the 41 because he flew down the track into him.
Well, that's where the pray part comes in.
Exactly.
It's not a foolproof thing just to turn left. You also have to pray a little bit, and I hope it goes your way.
But looks like this next time that we go green, it's going to be a green-white checker.
Yeah, attempt number 1 of 3. We saw it happen in heat number 1. Looks like it may happen again in heat number 2. Hopefully we don't have multiple attempts. Hopefully we get everybody clean and through. As I say again, Ron Morris Jr. in that transfer position right now. But you see there on your screen the leader, Dalton J. Martin, Christian Sanford, Curtis Critchley, Matthew T. Lee, Aaron Smith is your top 5.
Right, and that's a pretty stout top 5. The cream has rose to the top throughout this race.
Yeah, nobody really standing out that I wasn't expecting to be in the top 5, so you're right. They say it's a gambling. It's a gambling game, right? Superspeedways. Well, yeah, it is, but there's also a little bit of strategy involved. And calling as many Superspeedway races as we have together, Atlee, it's definitely easy to see that there is some sort of strategy or some sort of way to race this track to be able to get out front, because we see the same few people always making their way to the top. And so don't just tell me it's a gambling game. It's a very skilled art, the super speedway racing.
And we always get different answers when we ask people during the end of the race interviews, what was your strategy? We always get different answers, whether I hung out in the back for a little bit, or I was trying to be really aggressive up front so I could stay there, and just other things. There's so many different strategies that we've seen people say.
Yeah, I think my favorite is, well, it was getting down to the end, so I just decided we're going to send it. That's my favorite, is I don't care what happens. It's either checkers or wreckers. We're sending it. And I'm sure as we get to the feature, that's probably going to be some people's stories tonight as we wind down the laps of the feature. And I'm excited to see it. First, we got to get through this heat.
We do. So I believe this time by lights on the pace car will go off.
That's right. They are off. We will go green flag next time by. 2 laps to go, green, white, checkered, of course. And Dalton J. Martin going to start on that outside. I think he's going to give Christian Sanford a run for his money here. I know the Martin brothers are not content staying in second.
Right. Dalton J. Martin, he wants more. He wants to get into that first position and get that bragging rights. But also, here's the thing. Wherever you finish in the heat race also affects where you start in the feature. So think about that.
Yeah, one way to look at it is that these are like the duels at Daytona. We've said that before. But this is setting the field for the feature, right? And you don't want to start in the mid-pack for sure. You want to start near the front or near the very back, whatever your preference is. So I definitely don't want to finish 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th or anything like that. That's what we talked about earlier with the middle of the pack, the eye of the storm kind of thing. That's not where you want to be, especially with the full field like we have tonight.
Right. We started off with 45 cars, and when we start the feature, we're going to have gotten rid of 20 cars.
20 cars, just like that.
And all of them had to pay a $25 entry fee, and they don't even have a chance to start the feature.
I'm no mathematician, but 20 times 25 is a lot.
It is.
It's going to be a finish here, Atlee. Whew, I'm getting ready for it.
I'm excited for it. Let's see. Pace car dips off. I couldn't come up with anything there. It dips off on pit road, and we're going to be going back green here.
Yeah, I don't know what Dalton's doing here on the outside, but he is just left Christian Sanford there.
And green flag is back out, and Dalton J. Martin takes the lead. Matthew Lee falls in behind him, and the top line is non-existent. There's that 9 car falling behind.
I don't know if that was planned or not, but that was weird. But either way, Ron Morris Jr. is in that transfer position still. That Kyle Mays in 9th, Jeffrey Wallace right outside the top 10 in 11th position. He's trying to get there. And they're kind of spread out back there. Ron Morris Jr. looking better and better.
Right, so let's take a look. So there's Ron Morris. As you can see, he does not have anybody close to him. So as long as he keeps it clean during this final lap, then he will be getting that 10th and final spot to advance into the feature.
Yeah, 11th.
Oh, but there's a car going around.
In the infield, and white flag's already been taken, so this race is going to be over here. No caution on the white flag lap. That just secured Ron Morris Jr. into that top 9. And so as long as things stay clean up here, he should be okay. You got the 71 William Gannum right behind him.
Well, since that car ended up spinning out, it was in front of them, so now Gannum is in the 10th spot.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. So Grayson Scott, uh, well, no, Jason Nethery's right behind William. Now in that 34 car, he's trying to make something happen. You got all kind of chaos up
Oh,
here at the front, though. One in the wall. That's the two
of
of Kyle
Mays.
Mays. Yeah.
And they're 3 wide. But
Whoa.
as long as Ron Morris doesn't lose that position, he's going to be getting that 10th spot, and he does. Ron Morris Jr. gets the final spot, and Curtis Critchley
Wow.
ends up winning the race.
Wow. Kyle Mays, who we just saw there getting into the wall, finishes 11th. And so he was in the transfer position. Man, and just like that, coming off of turn 4, that's so disappointing for him. Coming off turn 4, you're in the transfer position. I don't know what happened, but he got into the wall. I do know that. And just like that, his chances for $300 or more are out.
All right, so we are now gridding for this 30-lap feature, and it's now time for your starting lineup presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Here we go. So starting on the pole with a scorching fast time of 53.725, it's Raymond Ridenour the second. Starting second is Duke Conrad with Fort Worth Screen Printing Motorsports, and third it's John Garrett. And rounding out your top 4 is Crystal King.
Travis Turnmeyer will start in that 5th position, that 54 machine. 51 of Pete Pellini. He will start 6th. 27 of Curtis Critchley. That winner of heat number 2 will start 7th. And Tyler Payne will start 8th in that 4 car.
9th is going to be Andrew Navarro, and then rounding out your top 10 is Justin Botello. 11th is Christian Sanford, and 12th is Garrett Maines.
Dalton J. Martin will start off 13th. 14th will be Jonathan Thompson. Aaron Smith in the 15th position. And rolling off 16th, Todd Mays.
Starting 17th is Brandon Gacknon with Ryco Motorsports in 18th. It's Hunter Parsons. 19th is J.R. Deal. And rounding out your top 20 is Nicholas Rolstad.
Yeah, 21st, William Gannum. 22nd, Andrew Hensley. 23rd is Jason Nethery, Wyatt C. Martin in 24th. And 25th, as we followed, Ron Morris Jr. in that 10th and final transfer spot of heat number 2. But he has a chance. That's all we need. And that top 5, okay, they've been relaxed here the first 2 heat races. But now they have to get in it as we look at our track conditions.
It seems like somebody with the last name Morris is the dark horse in these races.
That's right. Ooh, we'll see what Ron Morris can do here. Starting P25. I don't know. He might make it happen. That's a long way. Only got 30 laps to get there. That's almost a car a lap.
This is, I'm feeling some energy right now from these drivers. They're ready.
Is it just me, or is it nervous energy? Like, I don't want to lose $25 that I've already paid.
Right. And we got $300. There's a lot of things that you can get with $300.
You could definitely get a lot of cheeseburgers.
Underwear.
Underwear, yes. I probably need to get some of those here shortly. Oh, me.
We are flying by the field, but we're already entering into the tri-oval to start this 30-lap feature. Whew, here we go.
Here we go. Starts on the flagman. And hold it. Hold it. Green flag is in the air, and we start this 30-lap feature. Headed down that front straightaway into turn 1.
Side by side for the lead. Who's going to get it as we enter into turns 1 and 2? Looks like the 78 of Raymond Ridenour has the nose, and he clears the 8 of Duke Conrad.
Yeah, and they got a good run there down on the inside line. Not a lot of help behind them. That outside line is just going to take that momentum and run with it, I think, here on the back stretch. But they are so hooked up. I don't know.
Oh!
Oh, crash down on the infield, and there's the caution.
Caution flag is out here.
Now, when we say turn left and pray, we're not saying immediately turn into the inside wall like some of those just did. Let's go back and take a look at this wreckage replay. Now, they do have one fast repair during this feature, so these drivers are not out of the race, but they definitely have their work cut out for them now as we take a look at what happened.
Let's check it out. Watch that 27 machine of Curtis Critchley. He's got the 2 of Navarro behind him.
It looked like teammates almost the way their schemes are aligned, but hopefully they don't take each other out. It looks like the 4 tries to put it in there, and that just doesn't work. It's on lap 1, and not a whole lot of give and take there from the 51. As both of those, the 27 and the 2, I think they are teammates, get taken out there. And that's a frustrating way to start lap 1 of a 30-lap feature.
Right. Definitely disappointing for them, but you said it. They do have one fast repair.
Yeah, you just have to drive a whole lot more cautious now. If you're them, if you have to take this fast repair on lap 1, which nobody ever wants to do, you now have to drive very, very carefully, and your strategy might change. Your strategy might have been, hey, let's run at the front, see what we can do. If we get crashed, oh well. Well, on lap 1, that changes things a little bit. So look for them to be a little bit more cautious as they're trying to make their way back up through the field. I'm just wanting to follow Ron Morris Jr. because he started in last place. He is now at the 19th after he was able to avoid all that mess.
And we do have some drivers entering onto pit road. Tyler Payne, Brandon Gagnon, both are down onto pit road. And nobody else. So they're going to get some damage fixed from that previous incident.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'd be interesting to see. I like to save my fast repair. If I don't need to take it, I won't take it. So it just depends on how much damage is there, how much it's going to affect the race car, and you can kind of tell that by how much time it's going to take to repair everything. And so for these drivers, and it looks like we see right now on your screen, it looks like he's fixing that car. Usually, if you do a fast repair, then you're in and out quickly. It looked like he was trying to stay there and get some damage repaired. As we look at Raymond Rittenor, I keep saying that wrong. It's Raymond Rittenor leading this field. John Garrett sitting in that second position. Dude Conrad in third in that 8 machine. Fourth, we got Crystal King right here in the 278. And fifth is Travis Turnmeyer. Now, we're going to keep going through the field. But I have to ask something from you, Atlee.
Yes.
Let's just say you were in that incident. Are you staying at the back now, or are you trying to make your way up to the front?
I'd still try. I might be a little bit more cautious if there's like a really, really risky move that you think, man, if I take that, there's like a 90% chance I'm gonna get wrecked. But if there's less than like maybe a 70% chance you're gonna wreck, I'd take that move because I want to get back up to the front.
Yeah, and it's so hard to be aggressive and cautious at the same time. Like if there's a hole that's open and you're thinking about taking it, I can tell you from a driver's mind, they're thinking, okay, is this driver going to come down or is he going to stay up there? And, do I have it? Am I okay here or am I going to get wrecked again? So, yeah, I don't know what I would do if I was in their position. Do you stay at the back and wait for some more to wreck and then go, or do you go and avoid the wreck? That's the tough part of being a driver is you don't exactly know what to do at all times, and for some of these drivers, it's probably just going to be if the opportunity presents itself, go for it. If not, probably hang out and just see what happens. But either way, we're getting down to 1 to go this time by, and we will go green flag racing. Probably have about 26 laps to go on this 30-lap feature when we do go back.
Right, so we got starting on the front row, we got Raymond Rittenor the second, John Garrett, then we got Dude Conrad, Crystal King, and then Travis Turnmeyer.
Yeah, but don't count out Garrett Maines there. We saw him um, lead most of his heat race and ended up near the front, but he didn't win. But he was up there for most of the race, and he's sitting there in sixth place. I'm sure that he wants to get up there as soon as he can and make some noise.
Right. I don't know if you know this, Dustin, but Garrett Maines is actually a pro iRacing class driver, and he did earlier this month qualify to be in the iRacing Coca-Cola NASCAR series.
Yeah, they actually interviewed me for his car, and I turned them down. I told them I didn't want none of that corporate greed, Totally kidding, by the way. They would never. I'm not even on their radar. I can promise you that. But Garrett Maines is one of the best. I actually raced against him. It was probably 3 or 4 years ago now, back before he was technically a pro driver, and I'm telling you, he was just as good then as he is now. And so I hope he does good tonight, and I hope he does really, really good in the Coke Series this year. And I'm pulling for you, Garrett, if you're listening.
So we're going to wait for that pace car to mosey on down to
Just
pit road.
mosey on down. Just to be clear, I was talking about the Coke Series, not tonight, Garrett. I am unbiased tonight. I do not care if you win or if you do not win.
So let's look at his, so right now he's in second gear, going about 65 miles per hour. Let's see when he starts to switch up.
And this is on board our leader here, Raymond Retenor. And it's all up to him to see when we go green flag.
And there we go. You see the miles per hour start to rise. I think maybe at about, there we go. He switches to third gear. Maybe at about 40, he'll switch up to fourth gear. There we go. At around, he's now at fourth gear. It's the highest the Xfinity cars can go. Some of the other cars in iRacing can get up to 5, 6, 7th gear. And some cars, like the modifieds only have 2, and the sprint cars, I believe, only have 1. But still, Raymond Retenor is in the lead as we cross the start-finish line. So looks like the 20 of Justin Botello is trying to get something done here. And whoa, the John Garrett is up 3 wide now. There is a little hole to fit in, but he can't quite get there. 28 moves up there. That is Christian Sanford. Looks like there's only 6 cars in this little pack. Next one is Crystal King in that 278 in 7th.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't take them long to get right back up there, though. As I say that, they come creeping back into your screen at the bottom there, slowly coming back into here. As that double file just won't last long. Justin Botello clears Raymond Retenor, and he will take the lead down in turn 3.
So that now puts Garrett Maines as the leader of the high side. But he's about 2 car lengths behind. We'll see if he can gain back some momentum.
Oh, there's that momentum coming. You can see how quickly them runs form. And just like that, Garrett Maines up beside our leader, Justin Botello, trying to take it away from him. He's got a good run down in turn 1, but doesn't make it work. Man, they both have such good pushers behind them. we saw it several times in the heat races where they would make contact in the corners and just spin them around. But here they're able to do it just hanging off their bumper just ever so slightly.
Right, he's trying, getting a good push. The main thing, if Garrett Maines wants to get that lead, he's going to need a good push from that 28 of Christian Sanford.
Yeah, and that outside line is just not organized as I would like to see them. Yeah, the top two are organized and they're there, but it's everybody. If you look at the inside line, they're a whole lot more tighter, packed in there together. The outside line is just a little bit more unorganized is the best way to put it. But right now I thought it was going to get hung out there. You see how quickly they got unorganized, and Garrett Maines dropped like a rock there.
Yeah, Superspeedways has something what I call mood swings, where one moment you can be up in the lead, and then next you can be falling down to 25th.
Yeah, I had an uncle like that once. He had them mood swings, and you couldn't tell what mood he was in, and it would change throughout the day. But Raymond Rittenauer
and Dude Conrad
both.
Oh, contact!
The whole field is in this one, folks.
And
my goodness.
Caution flag is out. We are going to be getting that wreckage replay.
Wow. Just as you thought some drivers were going to get through, it was like bowling, honestly. One pin knocked over another pin, knocked over another pin, and that's exactly, as we take a look at it, I think you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. It was like one driver's clear. Oh, no, he's not. Another driver's clear. He's going to make it through. Nope, he's not. I mean, that was a snowball effect if I ever saw one there. That was crazy. Atlee's getting all that wired up. Right now, we do have Travis Turnmeyer as your leader in that 54 machine. Hunter Parsons in second. Third, Jonathan Thompson. Just some drivers involved in that. I can't even list all the drivers as we take a look and see exactly what started this.
So here is the replay. Pay attention to that 8 of Dude Conrad. So Garrett Maines moves down, and then he ends up making contact with the 8 of Dude Conrad. That flings him down. He gets into Justin Botello.
Then, like I was talking about, the bowling, one pin knocked another pin down there. But man, Garrett Maines trying to stick it in there like we talked about earlier, trying to stick it in where exactly it wasn't ready for it yet. And so the hole quickly closed, and that's the result of it.
Right, let's take a look at that one more time.
And the sad part about it is I know with this many cars involved, some of these cars had to be a part of that first wreck. And that's the disappointing part is they don't have any fast repairs left.
Well, we look at this replay one more time. Got a bunch of cars going onto pit road, but there we go again. Dude Conrad, Garrett Maines, they made it 3 wide, and it just didn't quite work. And pretty much everyone in the top 5, actually everyone in the top 5 got a little piece of damage from that accident. Boom, boom, boom. We got a, damn man. Got cars flying, and it's disappointing there.
I think I tried to count how many cars actually got through it unscathed, and it looked about 5 cars made it through that I saw. Man. That's a Talladega wreck if I ever saw one there.
Many drivers were on pit road and they're going out, but looks like right now Hunter Parsons is being scored as the leader.
Yeah, that's right. Nicholas Rolstad in second in that 44 machine. Curtis Critchley is in third. Andrew Hansley in fourth, and Travis Turnmeyer is in fifth spot as of right now. Now, this is interesting to point out. Raymond Rittenauer, the second, he was just up there like leading the race. You know, everything's good, and now he's in 23rd. I mean, that's how quickly things just change, and I feel so bad for these guys that were have a good thing going, and then it just gets taken out right on lap 10 like that. So, anyways.
Right, it's very disappointed feeling, but it's still not done for them.
Well, if they have a fast repair, it's still not done. If they didn't, like I know several of these didn't, at least back in the back, the night might be over. I see a couple cars that are just now coming off pit road, and so we'll catch up with them and see how they're doing. But hopefully, everybody's, like you said, able to get back in here and try to make their way back to the front.
Right, that's what everybody wants, to get that $300, but also the lowest incident count gets $70, so maybe keeping it clean is also a good idea.
So I think as of right now, we have 5 cars maybe that are eligible for that. I actually don't have access to that as of right now.
Neither do I.
But there can't be a whole lot left. So if you still have a 0X and you're in this race, you might just want to think about just chilling at the back and not even trying anything right here, just because you might end up with that $70.
Right, and also the person who finishes first may just be the person who also gets that lowest incident count, so they'd get $370, which I'd say is a pretty good payday.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good way to spend a Friday night, and we've seen that several times, where the leader of the winner of the race is also the cleanest driver, and so they just take home an extra $70 on top of their 300, like you're talking about 370. And it could very well happen tonight. I don't know if we have that many cars left with no accident points. But it could happen. It could happen as they're rolling down. They will take the green flag this time by with about 18 laps to go.
And we are getting set. So front row, Hunter Parsons on the bottom, Nicholas Rolstad on the top. Behind them, got Curtis Critchley. And then Andrew Hansley the fourth. And then we got Travis Turnmeyer in fifth.
Just continue to point out, since he started last, Ron Morris Jr. up to that 13th position. I don't know if he was involved in that wreck or not, but
Might be.
I just like following the last place cars, see how high they get. I know our first and second place, Hunter Parsons and Nicholas Rolstad, they started 18th and 20th. And so it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish. And right now they're 1 and 2.
So looks like, yep, the pace car Tomahawk twists down onto pit road.
Tomahawk twist. I like it. I like it.
As we are getting set to go back green.
I do point out on Facebook we got some shout outs for Jay Jensen.
He's
He is in this race. I don't know why we're getting a shout out for him, but go Jay Jensen.
Right, all right, so we're back green here at Talladega Superspeedway, side by side
Whoa.
for the lead.
We got all kind of trouble back in the back.
Uh-oh.
Somebody didn't get started. Now they're 3 and 4 wide back there. It looks like everybody's selling everything out. Sorry to jump in on you like that, but I had to let everybody know what was kind of craziness was going on back here.
Yeah, I see that, a bunch of cars getting all spread out and everything. That messes a lot of things up. But we look back at the front. Here comes the 54 of Travis Turnmeyer and Dude Conrad getting a run on the outside.
I do want to point out on Facebook, and it just now came through, Jay Jensen is saying, let's go Hunter Parsons. So maybe Hunter was shouting out to Jay Jensen. Oh, we got some movement in the back.
Right, that back is right now not the place you want to be. These
Yeah, double wide for the lead, but going crazy back in the back.
Right, I bet those people up front are like, glad I'm not in that mess.
Oh, I'm sure they are. As they're in a mess of their own, I mean, you got double file all the way back to about the 12th position before they start finally breaking away from everybody else. And everybody's trying to make it through there. I will say I'm glad they're keeping it calm for right now, at least, as we're on lap 14.
And it looks like Travis Turnmeyer is going to get the nose as we enter 3 and 4.
And I just want to say we got to be careful about that bump drafting in the corner. Man, it makes me nervous every time they go through there and they're bump drafting in the corner that somebody's going to get loose and we have another big one. But hopefully that's not the case. Everybody seems to be doing okay right now, but it just makes me nervous, that's all. The outside line for the first time tonight, really, they take an advantage here.
Yep, the 54 is now going to take the lead. Travis Turnmeyer, that now puts the 8 of Dude Conrad as the new leader of the high side. As we are nearing 15 to go this time by.
Yep, that outside line just doesn't have the help that it needs right now. You can really see that inside line stretching out their lead. Travis Turnmeyer really turned down in front of that inside line exactly when he needed to. As that outside line just has no organization. They're not tighter than they need to be, or they're not tight as they need to be to really make a run. So I'm happy to be on that inside line right now as we cross halfway, 15 laps to go.
Does anybody have anything for Travis Turnmeyer? Will somebody like Curtis Critchley or Hunter Parsons move up to the high side to maybe try to get a chance to retake the lead?
I mean, you got enough cars out there. There's about 6 or 7 cars. There's more help coming now. I just don't think they're pushing well enough to actually make a run. Well, there they finally get things going there. He finally got some help that he needed. Dude Conrad making a run on that high line, trying to get neck and neck with Travis Turnmeyer. He does now. He may even lead this lap.
Right, Dude Conrad gets the nose, and I do believe he's going to lead this lap. Yes, he does.
So it went from completely unorganized to kind of organized to leading the race.
He takes the lead.
Yeah.
Wow. Very impressive move by Dude Conrad. He's now the leader of the bottom. John Garrett is now the new leader of the high side.
Now, what does that say for the end of the race? That tells me you can come from 6th or 7th and still win this race coming out of turn 4.
Right now.
As long as you got the momentum, yeah.
Right now, currently in last place is Dalton J. Martin. He's about 7 seconds behind the field. Right now, he's hoping for a caution.
Now, that makes me wonder if maybe he was involved in that first wreck. Well, no, he wasn't involved in that first wreck. Maybe he just didn't take his fast repair. Maybe he's saving it for later, thinking another caution is going to come out. And I don't know. But either way, he's back there. Like you said, 6 seconds back, trying to make his way back to the front. We're 3 wide here up at the front. Well, at least about 7th on back with 3 wide. And everybody kind of keeping it clean right now, but it still makes me nervous.
Looks like we have a little run. Like you said, we're 3 wide. Brandon Gagnon and the 06 of Aaron Smith the second. We'll see if they can get anything done up there.
Yeah, it can actually be a really, really fast way around this track. If you can get some cars up there on that outside line, the very high line, you can really get some momentum coming out of the corners. The problem is a lot of people aren't aren't experienced enough to be able to run consistent, organized lines or laps out there. And so we don't see a whole lot of people ever run that third groove. Nevertheless, it is super fast if you can get somebody to run with you. We've got John Garrett making his way to the front right now, trying to keep it on that outside line, and he's clear. Is he going to go down? He does. Oh, Tyler Payne tried to go down with him, and just about caused a wreck there. They're 3 wide for second, on back to about 7th right now.
Right, here comes Brandon Gagnon. He's about side by side. We're 3 wide for 4th. It's crazy how much momentum the high side. Here comes maybe the 34 of Jason Nethery for a third car. Oh, 9! And the 1 makes contact.
Great save by Todd Mays there in the 9.
Whew.
Wow.
That was a close one. But we continue racing. That gets the field a little bit shaken up as the high side is just beginning to fade.
Oh, we got a wreck back here. Todd Mays is in it. Ron Morris Jr. is in it. Raymond Ritzenor is in it. And a slew of other drivers. The 2 is in it. Oh, man. A lot of drivers in this one here. A lot of good drivers that we've been watching all night. We're going to get that wreckage replay up for you. Oh, man. That's the second wreck for the 2 car here tonight. and it just keeps getting worse for him. So we know he's already used a faster pair, so this might be it for him. As we finally have it up here, and we're going to take a look at what happened.
Here we go. So watch that 9 car of Todd Mays. Here we go. So we're 3 wide, which is a very risky situation.
And honestly, it looks like Ron Morris in the 76 might have came up as Mays was going down, and it just is one of them racing deals as the air gets up underneath Ron Morris there a little bit, and it sets right back down. And not too much damage on that 9 car, so he might be all right.
Right, doesn't seem to be too much, but just a little bit of damage could affect your aerodynamics on a track, especially a super speedway. There we go again, just contact with the 76 and Mays into Rittenor and that 2 car.
Let me tell you who does not get away clean. You're about to see it right here. Talladega,
Ooh.
boom. Oh!
Woo!
I didn't know it got up in the air. My goodness, it got launched.
Goodness gracious.
It's never good when you're sitting in a race car and you see sky. That's for sure.
His front nose was legit pointed towards the sky. That's not a situation you want to be in.
No. Leave that to the astronauts to be sitting there looking at the sky. But my goodness, John Garrett in that 66 is your leader. Dude Conrad made his way back up to second. Third, Travis Turnmeyer in that 54. Hunter Parsons in that 000, sitting there in fourth. And Curtis Critchley in that 27 rounds out your top 5. We'll continue to go through the field for you here on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, brought to you by Fort Worth Screen Printing. If you need anything in the screen printing business, if you're looking for some shirts, if you're looking for some, I assume any type of material, they can handle it for you. And they do a good job. So good, in fact, that again, we remind you that they are the official, apparel?
Is apparel supplier of Mike Harmon
There
Racing and Rick Ware Racing.
Yeah, Rick Ware Racing. You may not know about Rick Ware Racing, but they're actually very popular in the garage. Did a lot of Xfinity racing before finally moving up to Cup racing. And they are making it happen, to say the least.
Oh, looks like Crystal King hits the cone there. I do that sometimes when I'm exiting pit road too.
That poor cone.
What did he do to deserve that?
That's exactly what I was sitting here thinking. Man, I wish we had a cone camera just so we could see what that
Cone
looked like.
camera.
A
That would be
cone camera.
nice.
Trademark Dustin Dean. Copyright 2021. Cone camera.
Cone camera.
Oh, slow motion. I like this. Here we go.
Do 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 do. Boom. The cone, like a gymnast, does some flips and twirls.
Kind of looked like Ron Morris Jr. there up in the air.
The poor cone.
As we continue back through the field, there's Justin Patello, Christian Sanford in that 28, Garrett Maines, who we saw a lot tonight, Dalton J. Martin, Tyler Payne in that 4 car, J.R. Deal, who we haven't talked much about in that 18, and the 22. We keep on going through the field. Look for your favorite driver, and we are getting ready to double these things up to go green flag racing yet again. And I am getting word Ron Morris Jr. is officially out of the race. So he started 25th. He will finish 25th.
Ouch, man. He had such a terrible incident that he was involved in. Just got into something that wasn't.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the risk you take. If there's an open hole, it doesn't always mean it's open. So, yeah.
Okay, then there's always next race.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. I'm sure see it again probably next week. Of course, join us back here next week, next Friday night. Same time, same place, about 9:15, 9:20ish, here on Intensity Broadcasting for some more Super Speedway racing.
Right, it's Super Speedway race. It just has a whole nother feeling compared to short track racing or road course racing or dirt racing. It's just, I love it.
Yeah, next week we're heading back to Daytona with the Truck Series. Now, I don't know if it's going to be day or nighttime, but I hope it's night. Secretly,
I hope so
it's
too.
night. There's just something special about a night race at Daytona. And especially in the Truck Series, the way they handle and the way they draft, it's going to be fun. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you back here next week, 9:30 or 9:20ish, excuse me, for some good racing. But that being said, we got about 7 laps to go here in this race, where a winner is going to take home at least $300. And the top 5 is going to go home with some money. That pace car slipping and sliding on the pit road. And John Garrett's going to lead this field back to the green flag for the final, hopefully the final restart of this race.
Right, we're going to go back green. 7 to go. We're nearing 5 to go. So only a little bit more to go before these drivers will go across that start-finish line for the checkered flag. And green flag is back out. A humongous jump for that 66 of John Garrett.
Yeah, he's in a different zip code on that one. You could build a Walmart in between first and second on that one. Dude, Conrad left hung out to dry on the outside right there. He's got no help on the outside, and I think they're just going to freight train him. And they are right now, no help on the outside there for Dude Garrett, Conrad. Excuse me. Second place right now, Travis Turnmeyer in that 54. He's just going to follow John Garrett. It seems to be follow the leader right now. Oh, Conrad, what are we going to do with you getting hung out there? I guess we're going to give you some help.
Right, we do have some reinforcements for Duke Conrad. Jonathan Thompson moves up there. But there's not much you can do with only 2 cars. And then, the 0 of Hunter Parsons now moves up there as well.
Yeah, they got 3 cars. I'm trying to make it happen. Make
4.
it 4 up there, yeah.
Brandon Gagnon.
So, 4 on the inside, 4 on the outside. I think that momentum's going to just charge these guys on the high side right by these guys as we get to the backstretch. We got a lot of pushing from the 8 of Duke Conrad. And I think that's going to send them to the lead here. The question is, when they get there, what are they going to do with it? There's still 6 laps to go.
Right. Here comes some more. Goodness gracious, man. This is getting down to the wire. And like you said, it's only 6 to go. About to be 5 to go. There's still a lot of race left.
Yeah, but it's go time, right? And these drivers know it. You can feel that intensity starting to pick up as every driver's wanting to get up there. Whoa, I thought Conrad was going to take it 3 wide on the outside. Shows otherwise. One car is hung out on the 3rd lane up there. No, he's got help now. They're 3 wide back in the pack. 3 wide from 7th on back.
Right, 3 wide is very, very dangerous. We saw it happen last incident. What happens when you go 3 wide? Hopefully they can have a little bit of a cleaner result.
Well, all it takes is one driver making a mistake, one driver getting out of their lane, and it ends up in half the field being wrecked, as we've seen so far tonight. Man, he's getting a good push, Hunter Parsons. He will take that low line, and into the lead goes Hunter Parsons. Conrad's still leading that outside line. Now, John Garrett follows in behind Parsons, and we are coming to 4 laps to go this time by.
Right, this is getting down to the nitty-gritty. If these drivers want to make a move, they got to make it now. No more holding back. It's time to race.
Oh, it's getting intense. Trying to make that 3rd line happen up there on the outside. I don't know if it's going to happen. You see the 83, Brandon Gagnon up there. He's got a little bit of help, but I don't think they're going to make it work. Right now, I'm looking at Jonathan Thompson and Duke Conrad on that 2nd line. They're making it work, though. They got that momentum going. They're trying to get to the front. Going to get up the side. Hunter, I don't think those are going to get just yet.
One more lap. Give them one more lap. They'll be there.
One more lap. That's right. That's right. Well, it's getting intense now, Atlee.
And it's the crazy thing about it is Daytona, it's a 2-mile track. So there's a lot of time to make moves. And here comes Garrett Maines sneaking on into the second line, and that forces Pete Polini out to dry. And he's trying to make another move, three wide.
Whoa, very heads-up move there by Jonathan Thompson to give Garrett Maines some room. That could have been really bad. Oh, this is going to be bad.
No!
Yep, there it is.
Into the wall. Caution is out.
Jonathan Thompson was caught up in that. I knew that was not going to end well. Garrett Maines was trying to put it where it wouldn't go. We talked about that several times tonight. You saw just like that. You go from thinking you can win the race to not being anywhere near the front. See that wreckage replay on your screen? That means we're about to take a look at some crashes. I think, without seeing it, just from memory, I think Garrett Maines had something to do with that.
I don't know. So we're checking out this replay.
You can see Jonathan Thompson gives Garrett a little bit of a hole here in the replay.
Right, here we go. So watch that one of Garrett Maines. He's going to try to make it three wide here.
And remember, he's a pro driver, so if you give him an inch, he's going to take a mile.
So turns left. And he's now three wide.
Yeah, in my opinion, there's not a gap there for you to get into. He just made a gap is what he made. Really good heads-up move here by Jonathan Thompson to acknowledge that Garrett was there, move up a little bit, give him some room. But it still didn't work out too well here.
Right, and we'll see what happens. So there you go. Finally, the contact is made between the 1 and the 03 of Jonathan Thompson. Again, make contact. It's just three wide race car sandwich that Garrett Maines is in.
Well, I know Jonathan couldn't have been too happy about getting pushed out, getting shoved out like he did. Oh, right there is the contact. Yeah, Garrett had nothing to do with it there.
06 makes contact with the 03, and that's where it all starts.
Yeah, so nothing to do with Garrett. I apologize for that there. I called him out. I told you it's from my memory, folks. And my memory fades as my age does.
We are back live and win. The caution flag waved. Hunter Parsons was the leader.
Yeah, he got that good run, stuck it to the low line in front of John Garrett, and that's where they sit right now. John Garrett sitting in second, Travis Turnmeyer in third, Duke Conrad in fourth, Curtis Critchley. We've seen him up here a lot tonight. He is in fifth. Garrett Maines right now in sixth. Let me just point out, this will be a green, white, checkered. So if you thought that was intense so far, it's about to get worse. And I will say, Pete Polini, he is officially out of this race as well. Todd Mays also a lap down. Not looking good for either of these drivers. I know just some drivers we've been following. Jonathan Thompson obviously was involved in that wreck. Sitting in 22nd, Wyatt C. Martin, who we've been following. Raymond Ritznor sitting in 19th. So a lot of good drivers. Already moving to the back. Christian Sanford, one of those. He's back in 15th position. So that opens the door for a bunch of these other guys that maybe haven't been out front. It's their time to shine now.
Right. We're looking for some comebacks from the back, some side-by-side racing, maybe three-wide racing. I'm ready to see what this green-white checkered's going to bring.
Well, we know for sure we have 3 attempts if we need them. So hopefully they can keep it clean here. But if not, we will go 3 attempts to this thing. So let me remind our viewers what a green-white checkered is. Green-white checkered, so they're going to get the green flag. They're going to go around one single lap. They're going to get that white flag. And if a caution comes out before then we'll line them up and do it again. If they do take that white flag, it doesn't matter if the whole field wrecks. There will be no caution. It will be the first one back to the start finish line will win this race no matter what. And that being said, showing 2 to go to green right now.
Right, we're getting ready. Lights on the pace car are going off, so
That's
start
right.
on this front row.
It just changed to 1 to green. That's right.
Hunter Parsons, John Garrett outside. Then we got Travis Turnmeyer and then Dude Conrad. 5th, don't count him out, Curtis Critchley. And let's see, 20 cars, I believe, are on the lead lap. And they all have a chance to get $300. And if they can keep it clean, potentially $370. We've had 4 cautions, so I don't know how many cars you'd consider clean.
Yeah, I think just about everybody's had some form of contact tonight. Todd Mays did make it back on the lead lap, and so did Jonathan Thompson. So we're up to now 23 cars on the lead lap. That is all 23 cars that are still racing accounted for. Again, Pete Pellini, Ron Morris Jr. no longer in the race. Let me tell you who is in the race, though. Hunter Parsons, John Garrett, Travis Turnmeyer, Dude Conrad. I think these 4, your top 4, had the best shot at winning right now. Of course, anything can happen. Anybody can win. But I think these 4 have the best chance to win. It is the top 2 rows usually have the best shot at green, white, checkered. So we'll see what happens here. Anything can happen. We've seen a lot of 3-wide action tonight, and I don't think that's going to stop now. See that pace car. He's going to twirl on off on the pit road. And Hunter Parsons going to lead this field back to the green flag. It is on his discretion, so he can go right now if he wanted to. But I think they're going to take a more realistic approach and wait till they get to the end of the tri-oval. Or he might wait for the flagman. That's completely up to him. John Garrett waiting patiently. There he goes. Hunter Parsons takes this green flag. The 54, Travis Turnmeyer trying to go with him. Man, Hunter got such a good run that he kind of left himself out to dry there. John Garrett's got a good push right now from Dude Conrad. They're trying to make it work on the outside line.
Only 2 cars, though, on that outside line. Make it 3. Justin Botello moves out to the outside.
Yeah, Dalton J. Martin in that 10 car is going to go with Justin on that outside. So make it 4 now on the outside. They're not connected. They're not all together, but they're there, and they will get connected. That's all that matters.
Right, we're now up to 4 cars. If they can make it to the start-finish line and get it to the final lap, if a caution comes out, we'll just keep on racing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Doesn't matter what happens if they take this white flag. Problem is getting to that white flag. We have a little bit extra here through the tri-oval if they can make it through it. But it seems like John Garrett will take the white flag this time as your leader. And he is there. Does he have enough? No, he will not have enough. Dude Conrad right on his back bumper though.
Right now, Hunter Parsons has the nose.
Oh, this is going to be a good finish. What's he going to do on the backstretch? Is he going to go up and block? Is he going to stay down low? Right now, he stays down low. And Hunter Parsons, whoa. Oh, that inside line's going to break up way too much.
Oh no, yeah. They ate. Oh!
There's
so many cars wrecking. Curtis Critchley.
Curtis Critchley comes around. Right now, he is your leader. Garrett Maines in second. Oh.
What in the
Curtis
world?
Critchley is coming around to win this thing. Listen, folks, last lap, Curtis Critchley was in 8th place, but he will come around and he will win tonight at the Superspeedway Series. Wow.
Garrett Maines takes second, Crystal King third. Let's go ahead and look at this replay. What in the world?
It looked like, honestly, Garrett Maines trying to make it 3 wide again may have caused that. He's trying to make it 3 wide. He's got help from Curtis right behind him. They're trying to make it happen, and I think there's just not enough room there to make it happen.
Yeah.
But he's got nowhere to go. He's getting pushed from behind. They're 4 wide almost.
They are 4 wide pretty much. Ooh,
nowhere to go there, and just
squeeze. And there it is. Watch this. This is what won the race for Curtis Ridgely. He turns left and he prays.
that's right. And John Garrett, look how close he
Woo.
was to. Oh my goodness, John was that close to winning this race. Whoa, Conrad upside down there. My goodness. Also, Justin Botello upside down. Man, who's that third car? Crystal King.
Crystal King.
Yeah, Aaron Smith in fourth. Raymond Rittenor. After all of his problems tonight, he makes it around to the fifth position. Wow, wow, wow. So the question remains: what in the world? Who in the world is going to get this extra 70?
So Curtis Critchley with B Leaf Racing is going to take the win here at Talladega. Second place was Garrett Main's. Third is Crystal King. Fourth was Aaron Smith the second. Another second is Raymond Rittenor the second. He finished fifth. Dalton J. Martin sixth. Andrew Navarro seventh. William Ganem finished eighth. Ninth ended up being Nicholas Rolstad, and rounding out your top 10 was Todd Mays. 11th was Brandon Gagnon. Finishing 12th was Andrew Hansley the fourth. 13th was J.R. Deal. Finishing 14th was Dude Conrad. Rounding out your top 15 was Wyatt C. Martin with Fort Worth Screen Motorsports. John Garrett finished 16th. 17th was Christian Sanford. Racing for Down South Racing. Got Jonathan Thompson. He finished 18th. Rest of these drivers either didn't finish or were a lap down. Hunter Parsons 19th, Travis Turnmeyer 20th, Justin Botello 21st, Tyler Payne 22nd, Jason Nethery 23rd, Pete Polini 24th, and Ron Morris Jr. 25th.
Yeah, that is your official standings here tonight. And I will say, I've caught a lot of super speedway races. That was one of the craziest finishes I've ever seen. Like half the field, or more than half the field, gets taken out in turn four. A guy who took the previous lap, he was in ninth place, comes around and wins the thing. And man, that is craziness. Now, what I would like to know is where was Crystal King the previous lap? How did he make it through all that? That is just crazy, is what it was.
So we are going to take a quick break as we wait for everybody to get into the waiting room for the interviews. Intensity promo video. All right, we are getting set for the driver interviews, and looks like we have all three. So Dustin's going to do third and first, and I'll do second place. So starting off, finishing third place was Crystal King. Dustin, you got the interview.
Crystal, do you have a copy?
Hello?
Hello, Crystal, do you have a copy?
Do we have a copy?
Hey, this is Dustin and Atlee in the booth. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
How's about third place finish doing great? Tell me, what in the world was happening on that last lap? How'd you make it through all that?
Well, I was sitting back in that lane and I could see how badly they were being pushed and they were just all over the place. Luckily, I had a spotter up there telling me what was going on, and they were wrecking, and I just kept it low like I usually do.
Well, I don't know how much percentage of the winnings your spotter's going to get tonight, but uh, they need a raise. Okay, they need a raise after calling that race for you. Either way, uh, Crystal, I'm just beside myself on that last lap. But what was your strategy going into the race? That's what I want to know. Were you planning on staying kind of behind everything and just watching it all unfold, or were you going to the front the whole time?
Well, the goal was to stay in the front because this was my first time actually qualifying in, so that I was pumped just on that. So I was gonna try to stay in the front, but I got shuffled out, and then I got caught up in that wreck in the tri-oval, and I was kind of nervous. I took my quick repair early, but after that, I was just staying in the back, avoiding all the crashes, and I had a feeling we would be all right with one green white checkered. Like once we hit the white flag, like it was game on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, luckily for you, it was game on for everybody, and they all wrecked, and I know you were right there in the middle of it. So congratulations for this third place finish. And is anybody you would like to shout out tonight?
Yeah, thanks. I would like to shout out Outrun. It's a cool team, and Checkers for spotting me through that. It was great.
Absolutely. Again, like I said, congratulations on that third place finish, and we hope to hear you back in here pretty soon.
Thank you. I'd also like to shout out to everyone watching me on Twitch right now. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Next up, we're gonna pull in Garrett Maines, see what he has to say. So, hey Garrett, this is Atlee and Dustin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Wow, what a crazy turn of events there on that green-white checkered. Garrett, what was your take on that final couple laps?
I'll be honest. I kind of figured I should have taken my fast repair the first time. It definitely made me have to drive a lot more aggressive to get back into the top five there with like 10 to go. The car was torn up. If I had taken the damage, I think I would have been able to drive a little bit more calmly and make more calculated moves. But basically, if I had to check up, I was going to lose like 4 or 5 car lengths. So I had to take everything that was given to me. That's actually why I peeled off for pit road there with 10 to go, because I knew, I wasn't going to be able to make a move for the win if it came to it. So I took the fast repair, 7 to go, made my way back up to the front. But I mean, basically, with the way this field was, I had to make the narrow moves every time to be able to pick up the spots, and I think that was probably pretty evident. And I don't tend to like to drive that way. That was aggressive, but on a whole nother level. And I know some people are upset about it. On that last lap, like the 54 went to the apron with the 0, and when they moved back up, he came up more than just 2 yellow. He came up like car length or half car length more than that, and that pushed me up with a really, really tight 3 wide with the 8, and the 8 started moving down just a little bit, and that squared him up with the car in front of him. So it was just a mess, and there was nowhere for me to go at that point. I'd already committed to a 3 wide position, and just you see how it happened after that. So, but overall, I mean, it was a heck of a race. It was a lot of fun, and congrats to Curtis there for getting the win. Really cool for him to be able to slip through there. But I mean, in the end, it all came down to luck there. I probably should have been caught up in that, but got lucky to escape.
Right, and you ended up getting second place. So is there anybody you want to shout out or thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I got to thank Smithfield, 101 CBD, SimSeat, Strickland Hardy, Bradley Mechanical, Linux, all the guys at Elliott Sadler Esports. Big thanks to Brendan Kohler tonight for spotting for me. Definitely made it a lot easier knowing where people were going and stuff. But also shout out to Richmond Raceway for all their support throughout this year, and good luck to them in the Coke Series.
Garrett, I would just like to say this is Dustin up here in the booth. It was a pleasure having you tonight, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And that brings us to tonight's winner, Kurt the Outlaw. Curtis, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Curtis, you got to take me back, man. Listen, you took that white flag. You were in 9th position. How in the world did you make it through all that to come around and win the thing?
The original plan was just to have faith in Garrett and follow Garrett through it all. and then we got to turn 3, and I saw a car hook sideways left, so I just immediately got on the brakes and hooked the wheel left and tried to get as far down on the apron as I could, and it just cleared out everybody, it looked like. So I just was in just the best luck ever. Like I have so much good luck at these tracks, and I don't know, it's amazing.
Well, me and Atlee have a saying we like to say: whenever there's a crash, just turn left and pray. And man, you did exactly that tonight. Congratulations! And I have to ask, this $300, man. What you gonna do with $300?
I'm definitely sending a bit Matt Lee's way. Sorry about hooking you in the feature race. You definitely deserve to be in the feature race, and I feel like he would be up here with me too, if we were actually able to get going there.
Well, I like sharing the love. That's okay. But man, congratulations again. Your strategy of following Garrett turned out to be an amazing strategy. Is there anybody that you would like to shout out tonight?
Yeah, there's plenty of people. Beeley Farms, Phantom Graphics, Critchley Gallant Engineering, Shenandoah Shine, Seven Seas Cruises, Pavement Marking LLC, Orange Shoes, Photography, and also Outlaw Esports. All these people make it happen. They support me so much, and it's just amazing.
Absolutely. Curtis, it was absolutely amazing watching you come to that field like that, man. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming and talking with us. And again, congratulations on winning the Super Speedway Series race. Man, we look forward to having you back next week, and hopefully we'll see you back in the booth again.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to be back. See you next week.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to Intensity Broadcasting's coverage of the iRacing Superstock League Super Speedway Series, sponsored by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Make sure to look them up on Facebook at Fort Worth Screen Printing or find them online at fwscreen.com. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And just make sure to do all that. We really appreciate it. And make sure to continue to stay tuned on whatever device you're watching, because I believe on Sunday we're going to have some original Rebels Racing League racing, and it's always a fun time over there, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'm Atlee Atman Weiss, and thank you for watching. Over and out.